Hello, crime fighters. Welcome to Intern News. My name is Ray Larson, and with us today is Elizabeth Anderson. Elizabeth, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Mount Sterling, Kentucky, which is about 45 minutes away from here in Lexington.
And where did you go to school?
High school or college?
Whatever.
I went to Montgomery County High School, and I got a BA in psychology at UK.
Now you're working during the school year as a research assistant.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, during undergrad, I worked as a research assistant with Dr. Jonathan Golding at UK, and we did some studies that involved spousal rape and things like that. It was actually it was perceptions of spousal rape in the courtroom. So we would recruit people to act as jurors, and we would present them a little case where a wife had accused her husband of raping her. And we looked to see if there was any differences between like the male jurors and the female jurors and whether they would convict.
Oh, that's interesting. What did you find out?
We found, well, our hypothesis was that the males would, vote not guilty more often than the females, but we saw that there really wasn't a difference between gender and what they're, what they decided.
One of our interns, Jenna McNeil, who is now a victim's advocate with us and is going to be firing us here shortly to go to law school, did a study about how does the introduction of alcohol into an allegation of rape affect a juror's perception. And it was a dramatic perception. Mm-hmm. So what were some of the findings of your research so far, or can you tell us?
Well, I actually was working on another study more recently with Dr. Jennifer Cole at UK as well. And that study was actually about sex trafficking of minors here in Kentucky. And
what does that mean? Because that's sex trafficking is a term that's used a lot. Nobody really seems to understand what it means.
Sex trafficking is when you induce someone through either force, fraud, or coercion to engage in a commercial sex act unless the person is under the age of 18, where you don't have to prove the force, fraud, or coercion. Because if you're under the age of 18, you cannot consent to a commercial sex act. And a commercial
That's prostitution?
Prostitution, pornography, stripping, anything that would be exchanged for money or drugs or something of value.
I got it.
So what I did was I surveyed different service providers, attorneys, defense attorneys, prosecutors, lots of different professionals across the state who may have come into contact with youth at risk,
mm-hmm.
who had, possibly been exploited in this way. And we spoke to them about their experiences working with them, the cases that they might have worked on, things like that. It was really interesting. And we're still working on the final report, so I can't really say what our findings were at this point, because we're still working on that.
Now, you're unique amongst our interns in that you're not the least bit interested in going to law school.
Correct.
What is it that you'd like to do when you grow up?
I would like to be a social worker. I'm actually going back to get my master's this fall at UK in social work. And I would actually like to work as a victim's advocate in some way, either in this office maybe, or, county attorney or the police department or something like that. So that's what I would
Well,
like to do.
one thing about Elizabeth is she is a very, very bright and talented young woman and is a very feisty personality that just fits right in with all the rest of the women in this office. They just beat me into submission. Isn't that about right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your experience with the internship so far.
Well, it's been...
What was your expectation coming in?
Well, I don't really, I don't know, I didn't really know what to expect. I had some ideas of the things that we'd be doing, like the ride-alongs and, things like that. But I didn't really, have a good idea. You know, I just didn't really know what to expect. But it's been really awesome. I've got to sit in on some really neat trials. I've always worked with my research, you know, victims of sexual assault and things like that. So we got to watch a rape trial, which was really interesting to see how that worked. And I didn't really have a lot of understanding about, you know, the legal system and how it all works. So I think it was really helpful for me to see how that works. So in the future, when I'm working with victims, I can help them understand what to expect. So
One
it's
of
been
the we have a number of interns, and one of the things we've discovered over the years with the summer internship program is everybody kind of bonds, and because there's a common enemy, you know, that would be me, and you're just a delight to have here because you're very smart, you're very bright, you got a lot to say, and you don't mind saying it, and that's a real positive. So we are very pleased that Elizabeth Anderson has joined us for the summer, and we look forward to working with her in the future because she is a talent. See you next time, crime fighters.